And give me the change, cunt.
Hello there, you absolute weapon. This is the Not For Radio podcast where your host, Duncan Hyde, Jay Reeve. There will be some swearing in this. Westie Lee's hanging about today, back from having a little bit of an episode. We will cover that off towards the end of the podcast. And once again, just a bloody absolute treat to have you with us. Boy, have we got a roller coaster for you today.
Yeah, this is one of the more creative and fairly crook ways of sending yourself off out of a job.
Yes. Also, KFC have serving up a new item here in New Zealand. Delish by the sound of it.
One of the dangers of having terrible eyesight and showing somebody else your messages. Oh my gosh, that
absolutely buckled me. Also as well, we've got a pretty hectic yarn about Joey Diaz and why he went to jail. And to kick things off for the start of the podcast, a lady by the name of Claire.
Fuck, I panicked then. I thought that was her actual name, but we made that up.
This is a hectic story. This is worse. I always go like, I could be a cruise ship guy. Now I'm starting to wonder if I want to be a cruise ship guy. Because this is just fucking worst case scenario on a cruise ship for a bloke. Enjoy the podcast. What an absolute treat. Not even sure if I'm supposed to be saying her first name because we don't know what's in the story.
Maybe should we use your name or do you want to remain anonymous?
Yeah, let's just remain anonymous. Everyone around here is going to know who I am, but fuck it.
Okay. Claire, welcome to the show.
Hello, how you going?
Yeah, not too bad. Do you like your pseudo stripper name that you've now been given as an anonymous alias?
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. We can run with that.
Okay,
sweet. Claire. So you are clearly not from here in New Zealand. Whereabouts are you from? Just give us a country. You don't have to regionalise it.
Across the ditch, southwest Victoria.
Oh, yeah.
That was a little bit more specific than I thought, but carry on, Claire. Okay.
Okay. So last year, my husband, myself, 2 kids, we went on a lovely cruise over to Vanuatu. So we're about 4 or 5 days in. We'd been to 2 awesome islands, and the next day was going to be our last island that we're stopping at. It was going to be Santo. So the night before, we've gone out, had a few drinks, that type of thing. Kids went to bed. My husband and my son thought it was really funny. I suppose anyone's ever been on a cruise, you know, these rooms are tiny.
Yeah, it's very tiny.
So 10-year-old child farting competition with his father. So stinking the room out. Then fast forward to about 5 o'clock the next morning, my husband jumps out of bed and he's like, oh no, oh shit. And I just rolled over, thought, you dirty fucker, you finally pushed it too hard and shat yourself. Just totally gave him nothing. He got up, he ran to the bathroom and he's like, oh shit, oh no. And he kind of let out a little bit of a cry. And at that stage I was like, maybe he didn't shit himself. I'm like, you all right? He goes, no, get up. I think I've broken my dick.
Hang on.
What?
Hang on.
What?
How in the fuck did he break his dick?
So woke up, I suppose, with his morning glory, rolled over, it dug into the mattress, and bam, snapped it. So I went into the bathroom. Yes, definitely. Like, it was like an eggplant gone wrong straight away. It just turned black.
Wow.
And then I went to like, oh shit, we're in a third world country on a fucking ship.
You are fucked.
I mean, not to hyperfixate on the dick, but it is the thing that's been broken here. What is it looking like? Talk us through. Like, is it bent to one way? Is one part blacker than the other? Does it look like one of those fucking purplo splash popsicles that you could get? It's all different colours, all tie-dyed.
Yeah, it looked like an eggplant with a bit of a bend in it. So
does it normally look like that?
Wow. Not generally, but anyway. So we had, my sister was also on the ship with her kids, different part of the ship. So I was trying to ring her and she wouldn't answer her phone. So I woke my 9-year-old daughter up, said, you need to go down and bang on her door and get her to come back up here and help me because she's a paramedic. And I was just like, surely she can give us some good advice. She walked in the door and she's like, how the fuck did you do that? Like, completely judged me like I was a dirty porn star. I'm like, had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. So anyway, left it a few hours. We gave him some Panadol, said go back to sleep. The hospital on the ship does not open until 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not willing to part with $1,000 for you to go there now.
Wow.
So he went back to sleep for a few hours. And then once the hospital was open, made his way down there. And of course, going down the elevator, he's like, I'm fucked. If I get a hot nurse, I'm going to crack the shits and I'm just walking out. I'll just deal with it. I'm like, mate, we've already Googled it. You need to go home and have surgery within 24 hours. Otherwise, there's irreversible damage. And then I'm like, at least we're stopped at an island where there's an airport. So we thought that was going to be a good thing. So pretty much doctors assessed him, wasn't a hot doctor. He had all male nurses, male doctors. So I think he was pretty stoked with that.
Still got a stiffy.
Backwards and forwards with doctors in America because of course, the cruise ships, they run out of America. And it was decided, you definitely need to go have surgery. So in the whole of Vanuatu, in all of the islands, there's one ultrasound machine and no one knows how to use it anyway. And it wasn't at the island we were at, so it was no help to us. So in the meantime, of course, we've got phones going back to my in-laws. They're on the phone to insurance companies. My sister, she had done work with some of the Pacific Islands. So she got onto one of her paramedic friends that got onto the Australian paramedics that run Vanuatu's ambulance service. So we kind of got the care flight thing happening. So this was like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
We were docked at Santo for the day, and it was one of the first times they'd gone there with all the crap happening over in Noumea and stuff. So we had an extra island at Vanuatu instead of going to New Caledonia. But it was the first time they had to ever medically disembark someone at that island.
Wow.
So it did prove to be just a little bit difficult. And like the good thing was he wasn't really in any more pain. It just got blacker and blacker by the minute.
Oh my God.
A little bit more swollen.
Like it's going to drop off.
So
This is when you start an OnlyFans, you know?
He should have started an OnlyFans while he was over there. So pretty much it was a nightmare to get him off the ship. They were like trying their hardest to organise a medevac and they were getting nowhere. So we pretty much took over and organised our own medevac. And we knew that we were having a care flight coming from Australia with our connections within like ambulance Victoria or Australia, whatever you want to call it. We knew the plane was coming, but then we had to convince the captain of the ship, who of course he's standing there looking at his clock every second that ship was docked at Santo after the time we were meant to disembark. I think every 5 minutes, like $25,000 fine or something to them. Oh. So we were there for about 3 hours longer than we were meant to be. So in the end, they're like coming down and they're like, right, we're going to have to just go. You're going to have to deal with it. And it was kind of good that the captain was a male, the doctor was a male, and the nurse was a male. And I said, well, okay, let's put it into perspective. Do you guys want to ever be able to piss out your dick straight again or what? Because this is the predicament we're going to be in if you turn this ship around and leave him on here. Like, we've got it all organised. There's an ambulance waiting outside on the dock to take him. So then the ship's like, yep, no worries. We got all the paperwork to them. Then come the next hurdle. Customs on the dock wouldn't let him off the ship. They said, no way, can't get him off. We need a flight itinerary. We're like, mate, it is a care flight. You're not going to get a Qantas pass. Yeah. It's like, we don't get that. Here's your piece of paper. And eventually, reading between the lines, the captain come down and an envelope went out. The doctor walked out, said to me, right, say goodbye to him. He's going now. Then there's an ambulance there waiting for him. But you're not allowed off the ship to say goodbye to him. So turfed the kids back with my sister and said, right, go deal with them, entertain them for a little while, because by this time they were starting to get a little bit distressed. And like my oldest child, he's severely autistic. So all he cared about was, is your Willy Wonka ever going to be fine again, Dad? Because it was black the last time he seen it.
Has he checked in on it regularly just to see if the colour is drained away and it's gone back to the normal elbow skin that everyone has?
Yeah, pretty much. He there was a few weeks there that it was constant, is your Willy Wonka back to normal, Dad? So anyway, we turfed him off the ship. We had to stay on, but the poor bugger, because we'd been docked there for so long, word was starting to get around and they were announcing like we're stuck here for a little while because we're medically disembarking someone. So up on the top deck of the ship was hundreds of people ready to clap the poor bugger off, whoever was getting medically disembarked. And then they seen that he was walking off, and I think a few people had been down to get their seasick tablets and their hangover tablets and shit from the hospital. So word did get around that he did break his dick. So he had so many people up the top cheering him on as he walked off. But like for us, it was like, holy shit, are they going to take him out the back and shoot him and take his passport? Are we ever actually going to see him again? So the paramedics, they took him and the flight wasn't going to be there. I think this is about 6 o'clock at night, and the plane wasn't due there from Australia until about 10 o'clock at night. So the paramedics said to him, right, where do you want to go? We'll take you to a motel. And he goes, take me to the most expensive motel that you can find and you know of.
So they found a tent on the side of the road with a half-drunk bottle of water.
Yeah, pretty much. So they took him there and dropped him off for a few hours. And by this stage, he's a bit of a, likes to watch what's going on. So he'd downloaded some app, so he knew where the plane was. He knew it had left Brisbane already, so he was watching it, but he was watching it fly to the wrong island.
Oh my gosh! The story just gets better and better.
Pretty much, they kicked him off and the boat was gone. He barely had a foot on that dock and the boat was turned around, and we were just like, holy shit, we've got no control over anything. My daughter, she ended up with migraine because she was just so stressed, the poor little thing. And we're constantly messaging him going, are you all good? Is the plane coming still? Sorry, we're no help to you now. Oh. Good luck.
Oh my God.
So the plane eventually picked him up at about 10, 11 o'clock at night. He said he was never so excited to see 4 Aussie males get off a plane and go, we're here to take you home, mate. So he got a private Learjet home from Santo. They flew Santo to Brisbane, then Brisbane to Melbourne, where he went and had to have quite extensive surgery.
So what was, just to pause on that for a moment, what actually went wrong within the appendage that they were fixing up?
So how they describe a broken pecker or penis, dick, whatever you want to call it. It gets called numerous things around here. They class a broken penis as it's a broken blood vessel. That's what snaps. So it ruptures and then it has to be stitched back up. So yeah, but the surgery.
Yeah.
That's like, I Googled it after he got off the ship and I'm like, I might not tell him what it looks like. So pretty much he got a designer doodle. So had to be circumcised and then they pretty much skin it. And then
fucking hell.
Then fix it, then stitch it all back up. So a lot of stitches involved, very tender area. So yeah, he now has a designer doodle and the recovery was horrific for everyone. I think everyone in the district knew about it because he was pretty uncomfortable. Lucky we've got really good friends down in Melbourne because of course the kids and I were still on the ship.
Yes.
So we were 4 more days, I think, on the ship. And then we went back to Sydney and then had to fly Sydney to Melbourne. So he got a friend to pick him up, and he stayed down at their place in Melbourne for a few days because we are in country Victoria. And I'm like, you don't want to go home because if that shit goes wrong, you're going to have to get in the car and go back there. So just stay down there. So like, I suppose an easy way to describe it as when he got home and we got home, like he could walk around and stuff. He was very sore, but everyone knew at night time when he was uncomfortable, because the average male will have 4 to 5 erections overnight that you don't really know about.
Gosh.
But when you've got a shit ton of stitches, everyone knows about it, and he would just, pretty much scream the house down for a little while.
Oh,
Frank
man.
and Dick. Oh, mate, that is terrible.
And so
Yeah.
has he made a full recovery?
Yeah, same, but a little different.
Oh,
Same, but a little different. When they were going under the knife, you didn't slide a couple of notes to the surgeon and say, do you want to whack a few ball bearings down the side of it, maybe a couple of ridges on the top of it?
Take part of my forearm out.
I think he'd done enough damage to it. Let's just hope he could pee straight and it'll be fine and it works again.
Now, tell me what ended up happening with the plane going to the wrong island.
I know. So it just looked like it was diverting. It kind of flew over Port Vila before it flew up to Santo. But yeah, he was convinced, they're fucked up. They're going to the wrong island. I'm going to die here with my broken dick.
I just think as a fella, it would be so weird. Like we have this really crazy relationship with our genitalia. Men more so than women, I think. It's something. It's the first toy that we are given, and we fucking never stop playing with it, basically. And so for it to be one thing one day, and then you wake up and you're like, "Hang on, I'm no longer an anteater. I'm the skivvy is completely gone. I'm running a real slick sort of Saab driving architect's dick style now, and stitches all over it. And then how has he been mentally? How's his upstairs after the whole thing? Like, because obviously it would have been terrifying the first time that you guys were to get intimate again.
Yeah, no, he was like, when it happened, I don't think, he knew how serious it was, but I'm sure plenty of his mates got Snapchats because I was getting messages from their partners going, I just seen a dick pic. I'm like, and then, so he wasn't shy about talking about it because he quite happily told anyone. Like I think that was his coping mechanism with it. But it was pretty funny. Like at Christmas time, we have a Boxing Day bash, not on Boxing Day. And that happened, of course, in June, July. So it was 6 months of every time the boys got pissed, after a few beers, it would be like, how's your dick? And it just go straight to dick talk. So I had some T-shirts made up for like 2024 top news. Sam's broken dick, Sam's old dick, and Sam's new dick. So I felt sorry for the people at Vistaprint that had to print those off.
That is so good.
Oh, Claire, not your real name.
Yeah.
Jeez, you've been an absolute superstar.
A treat. Thank you so much for sharing the chat with us. That is one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, isn't it? Can we get your partner a Mad Dog Club ring?
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to. Like, and it's not.
Yeah.
You don't normally get into the Mad Dog Club just for being injured, but like the hectic set of circumstances, the recovery, just everything. Like, I think we need to do it.
That's the first designer. That's the first designer dick story that we've had.
Yeah.
How many stitches did he get in it? Because I'd love to see if anyone's trumped that. Do you know?
I think I didn't count them, but I think there was around 50 or something all up. Like, because there was a fair few.
I reckon if he put 50 into mine, it would look like it was crocheted.
Oh, mate.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That is one. You could have shared that with anyone. That is much like super appreciated from us. Like that's fucking one of the all-time greats.
It's still like, even now, no one believes that I didn't break it. I get looked at like I'm a dirty porn star, and I've got to the point that I used to be a bit of a prude and didn't like to talk about any of this type of shit, but now I can talk about dicks to anyone.
Including your old mates, Jay and Dunc.
I love them. It is just such a classic dude thing to do. Something has gone terribly wrong with your dick, and then you go, fuck, the boys wouldn't mind seeing this. Yes. Or I have a go at my dick. I think I broke it. No shit.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you can tell him over dinner tonight that he's now officially a member of the Mad Dog Club. We'll have to get the Mad Dog Club ring out to him and card as well.
No worries. Thanks heaps, guys.
This is Dingle from South East London, and you're listening to Not For Radio with Jay and Dunc, and these fuckers operate in that sweet spot of Max Chicken's rogueness.
There is no greater accent.
That is amazing. If you want to send us one of those, you can do it through the show notes. Just click on the link tree there. That Pauline's yarn, incredible. She's been sitting on that for ages. I think half of South Australia know that yarn, but we're the first podcast for it to go on.
Yeah, it is fucking worst nightmare stuff in it, though.
When all of a sudden you go from being in holiday mode and you're on a cruise ship and you're like, yeah, everything's mint, fucking casino's just down the hall and I can drink all day, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm in a third world country and I've got to get medevaced out of here. And they won't let me onto the dock.
Randomly, in relation to the actual erection in the morning itself, they reckon that's one of the first indicators that you should look at your testosterone levels if you aren't waking up or in those early hours of the morning getting an erection. So it's one of those things. You basically, the physiology of your body means that your dick gets cycled through sort of between 4 and 14 times or something in a night.
Wouldn't it be nice if you woke up with the morning glory, but without a full bladder, so you could put it to work?
Just don't go on top.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, fuck, if it's there, use it. 100%.
When you're busting for a piss.
Yeah, give a fuck.
You guys bang through it.
Never waste an erection. Every erection's a miracle.
Big Westie Lee, a.k.a. Ginger Gandhi.
Gandley.
Gandley is so good.
Yeah, I like that.
Got a Joey Diaz yarn here. We're big fans of Joey Diaz in the podcast.
Speaking of big wise men.
Joey Diaz. He comes on my podcast. Now, he has a podcast, so of course my opening line to him is, how'd you get into podcasting? His response, Chael Sonnen, he wouldn't call me Chael. It was always, what, Chael Sonnen?
He still calls me Joe Rogan.
I mugged a hooker down in New Jersey and set her wig on fire. There's two moving parts here. First off, I don't know how that answers my question. He ends up doing 2 years or 18 months. And I said, what kind of jam did you get in there? And he said, well, I was doing the cop's job for him. The cops don't want drugs on the streets. I went and took 2 kilos off the streets for him. And he goes, the 2 kilos wasn't as big of a deal. And you know what else, Chael Sonnen? I just happened to have a machine gun. And he goes, but it's funny, I wasn't in trouble for the gun. I really wasn't in that much trouble for the drugs. What they were upset about was the kidnapping. Yeah, but kidnapping's kind of a weird charge because when you and Vandalay got in that scuffle in The Ultimate Fighter, if I come and grab you and I take you into the next room just to cool you down, taking you into a room against that's kidnapping. And I said, oh, okay, is that what happened? And he goes, no, I duct taped the guy. He was in my trunk and then I held him in the house for a week before I let him go. I'm like,
shit, he is such a handful, eh?
Chael Sonnen has got to be one of the great villains in media. Like, heaps of people love to hate him, but geez, he's just so good at his job.
Yeah. Very clever. You can tell by the way that he speaks and the cadence in which he speaks, he is fucking operating at a top level.
All of his videos, he does monologues about the upcoming UFC fights or whatever, and previews them, and they'll be like 12 minutes long, and he does not stop talking, and he's just by himself and just goes duh, 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 with a million different angles. The guy's the man. Vandalay Silva. Are you laughing because that's what you do?
No, no. I'm miles from that.
Oh, you are right there. Chael Sonnen?
I was laughing at the fact that there'll be so many people heading out tonight, safe in the fact that they are fucking helping the police by taking drugs off the street. That's what I find fucking hilarious. That is the ultimate reframing. Geez, I don't know if I should go and sit in the back of that lowered fucking Mercedes and part with $3,000 for some personal automatic. And then you go, you know what? I'm fucking basically like a double agent here.
It's
undercover
better
cop.
in my hands because I'm a safe guy. I'm respectable than someone else.
Yeah, that classic saying, I fucking hate it, but I just love the smell of it.
Oh my gosh.
Anywho, that's a great way of looking at things.
Got a war story for you.
Please.
From Ian Goodwin Reeves.
No relation.
No.
Probably.
Probably.
Somewhere along the lines,
From West Sussex in the UK.
Yeah, that's getting a little closer to home then.
Where's your family from?
Fuck knows. I reckon I think the Scottish side of me, I'd like to say is from Inverness.
Oh, I remember you saying that once.
But that being said, though, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's Campbelltown, but most people don't admit that because people in Campbelltown basically sold out the Scottish to the English, so they're all fucking hated. So either way.
Hasn't enough time not passed for that?
What, you reckon that's going to be fucking swept under the rug?
Too soon, okay.
Fuck, mate. When was the treaty signed?
Oh, easy now. 150 years ago?
Yeah, see, fucking long.
Yeah, gotta let half a millennia go.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
more than that.
So this story reads, some years back I had a young guy training at my Army Reserve unit, my height 5'5". He worked in a garage down in Brighton and hadn't seen him for a few weeks, so had a catch up in the all ranks mess bar after a parade when he explained why.
That's pretty cool. So all ranks mess, just explain for those. Just a fucking public bar for all the army people to go drink piss at.
That's so good. They got them in the Air Force too. I got kicked out of one for life.
How the fuck do you get kicked? They are like ultimate pig pens. So, and then
You've got to know someone in the Air Force to invite you there, and then you've got to. Well, they're not quite like that, Jay, because you have to uphold yourself to the Air Force, the standards. And when I get fucking blind, I'm nowhere near those standards.
You're not military material.
I think I downed like a whole bunch of Red Bull vodkas, and they were like $3 each. You go into town, they were like $12.
That's a real Air Force drink, eh? If you're in the Navy bar, they're just drinking rumbos.
Just want to fly, man.
Yeah, if you're in the Army ones, you're drinking the fucking drip tray jugs.
He told me, wearing his overalls, that he'd been working on the brakes of a four-wheel drive, cleaning and replacing the discs and pads. Because of moving around the car, he put the brake cleaning spray in his coveralls pocket. Remember, he's 5'5". Job done, he moved on to another task. A bracket would not budge, so he decided to cut it off. Grabbing an angle grinder, he donned his gloves and eye shields and he set to work. He forgot what was in his pocket and he put the cleaner there, upside down. Sparks flew as he toiled away until one hit his crutch.
Fuck.
Which, because of his height, had been spraying cleaner into his coveralls on and off for 10 minutes. His crutch caught fire. He quickly jumped off and quenched his toasted wiener. Not there yet, guys. He continued the tale as we drank on. And then he said, I burned through my coveralls and my undercrackers. Found I had a blister on my belly end. Get ready for it. At my horrified reaction, he concluded, that's okay. I burst it with a hot needle.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
Even posting this years later, I still cringe.
Oh, fuck. That is the limit to civilian medical procedures. Just fucking heat it up with a lighter. We'll leave the names out of it. But your doctor friend was the one that fucking torched Dave Grohl's thumb.
Yeah. Finger, thumb, one of them. Yeah. And Dave Grohl looked at him and was just like, what the fuck are you doing? When he heated up the needle with a lighter.
Yeah.
Because I do that at home and then the end of the needle goes all black. I must hold it in the wrong part of the flame.
Yeah, definitely don't. Yeah, that's carbonisation.
You always do that and then I just wipe it on my jumper.
Yeah.
I say that like I'm doing this all the time. I'm not. Anyway,
just
wipe
it on the floor normally where the dog sits. So I make sure I've got some form of fucking injecting some, canine disease into me.
Anyway, DJ played on for the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
And was happy, so it must have worked. I'm going to do 2 back-to-back war stories because that was short. This is from Anonymous and from Australia. G'day, fellas. Bit of a yarn from across the ditch here of how my uncle nearly got himself on some kind of register.
It's a great way to start.
Fuck, here we go. For the sake of anonymity. Anonymity.
That's it. There we go.
Anonymity. How do you say it?
Staying anonymous.
Go fucking
Say it.
No, go.
You've got to get it.
Do I need someone else to say
Nah,
it?
fuck that. No, don't. You fucking
Anonymity.
What? Go.
Anonymity. Anonymity. Oh, I found my kryptonite.
The English language.
For the sake of being anonymous.
Take a couple of steps back, 3 words back, and then just run straight through it. Look at the word after it.
Anonymity. We will call him Jeff because that's his fucking name.
Hey.
Jesus. After a typical day on the farm, he knocks back a few bottles of Victoria's finest ale and heads home. He texts when he's nearly his newlywed, 20 plus years younger wife if they need anything from the shops on the way home. Upon entering the local shops and grabbing what he wants, most likely some VB, some more milk and bread, and he gets a couple of messages. He then realises that he's left his glasses in the work ute. Years of vigorously doing what his mum warned would send him blind, coupled with a strong bloodline of deleting piss, has now left him with the optical abilities of a welder's dog. Wandering down the aisle, he finds a young fella stacking shelves. Hey, young fella, can you read this? Showing him the phone. Likely still waiting for his first paycheck, the young lad gladly obliged, climbing down the ladder, grabbing the phone, and then stares vaguely through Uncle Jeff as if remembering a night in Kaysan in 1968. Figuring the young lad is a bit off, he decided he'll just have to face the missus for whatever item he has forgotten. Upon entering the house, the missus is waiting eagerly, seeing him with his clutch of groceries and says, "Where's my smokes?" Wink, wink. Not to bore you with the confusion that followed, this is the two texts that was received. Text 1, nah, all good, went earlier today. Text 2, and after that, and the one that sent the 15-year-old boy into some kind of shock. Text 2, if you buy me a pack of smokes, I'll suck your cock.
It's like a fucking the note that you'd slide across to a teller at a bank, so you don't have to say anything and alert anybody to what's going on.
Shit!
Some that poor young prick would have just been assuming that he wanted a fellatio for fucking darts.
Had a good height on the ladder. Oh my gosh! What a turn of events!
Oh, that's great stuff.
Just
$50 though. That's what a pack of nuts costs these days.
That's bloody upside to having a missus 20 years younger than you.
Shit. Fuck, what did a brick get you? You're in prison currency, eh?
Oh yeah.
So if you were buying a 30 gram, say you were getting a 30 gram of the bog standard middle of the road Park Drive Port Royal,
Yeah.
$89.
Yeah.
If you're buying a 50 gram, which is an extra 20 grams, I think it's running around 150, 160.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's rough, man. It's rough to smoke.
Fucking brutal. It's a rich man's sport, you know? It's kind of like sailing and golf. Ciggies.
Yeah, but it's the most addictive thing on planet Earth, so that's the last thing people give up. People stop eating and just still have ciggies. Bloody, that's hectic. What it used to be? It used to be 50 for a 50, didn't it?
You probably, when I started punching darts, it was $3.10 for a 10-pack. And you used to be able to buy single ciggies at the dairy for $1.
What a weird thing.
That was a
single ciggy.
That was a going high school rate as well. $1 for a tailie, 50 cents for a rollie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember buying a packet of smokes when I was 18 for $8.80. Pack of Horizon Dark Blues.
My pack of 10s used to fit into my Velcro wallet as a teenager. It'd sit inside
And the
perfect,
rip curl.
fucking padded out, mate. You know, your fucking Billabong probably wasn't even, just one that I got from the army surplus store and just sewed a Billabong patch onto it.
I don't think I've ever seen a pack of 10. Are they 5x2? Or are they
10
just
straight.
Oh, bro, that's so
Amazing.
mad.
Bryce, who does the award-winning Morning Rumble show, got sent a couple still sealed. I don't know where he got them from, but they're Kiwi originals. He had Horizons
I saw
and
a
Paul
Benson and
Red.
Hedges one, actually. I did see a B&H
Yeah.
one.
How's that? Sending them to the bloke that doesn't smoke anymore.
Yeah, they'll get busted
Museum
open.
piece.
Put them in behind glass and say break in case of emergency.
Hey, the Two Flogs podcast, bloody two absolute Aussie legends, Buster and Gibbo, dropped today. So the first half of our chat with them, we sat down after work a couple of nights back and just absolutely thumped some tins and recorded the podcast with them, then went out for dinner. It was awesome.
I've got almost zero recollection of what we even covered off.
Well, there was the first bit's actually your backstory into getting into teaching and failing miserably, but then ended up teaching in your old high school.
Yes.
And then we go into, we cover off so much in that podcast. Yeah, it's really good. It was a lot of bloody energy. There's just 4 fizzed up lads.
Yeah. Just fueled by piss. That's the problem. And it gets really squirrely. I don't know how much made the edit. They've got this. They run a setup where they've got a Patreon where you can watch the whole thing, the whole video, basically unedited, which is fucking real dicey from the conversations that we had. But I'm not gonna say who said it, but somebody fucking massively offended Dunk about the death of a close friend.
That got edited out.
Did it?
Wait, so he still
Fucking
says a
little
comment. So I'm talking about Richie, my mate who passed away with bowel cancer, and I'm like, yeah, man. So I'm talking about me being a bowel cancer ambassador in New Zealand, and I was like, yeah, it was real unfortunate. He died when he was 27 after a couple of rounds of battling it, sort of thing. He goes, oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, eh? So what he was referring to was obviously the fact that Dunk was an ambassador, but he
Because
said
of
it up.
that reason.
Yeah,
I
and I was
don't know
like,
why
well,
they
it's not
cut
awesome
that.
because he fucking died. And he's like, fucking thanks, mate.
Fucking threw him right under the bus. So it's a hell episode. So I think there's about 40 minutes.
That'll be in the
today.
Patreon, though, surely.
Yeah, hopefully. And then another one is dropping on Monday. So for anybody that hasn't been getting the Sniper Elite episodes and has got this one, you might be able to get a bit of a fix on some of the more hectic stuff that we chatted with them. And also as well, I did get a message from someone here at work. So someone hadn't renewed something in the background for all of our podcasts here at work, and then essentially Apple was the first one to bite when, as far as uploading new content when it hadn't been sorted out. So they've gone back and they've done whatever they need to do, and now we're waiting for Apple to be like, yeah, sweet, and then drop the podcast back in. Not our fault though.
Yeah, shit, nonetheless, though. Fucking
annoying.
thanks, mate.
Just annoying.
Would you like a little
Wee war story?
Yeah.
What do we got? We got yeah, we'll do a war story, and then I want to play you something really beautiful my son said at the breakfast table this morning.
That's a nice short one here. I don't know if we'll go first and last name. This is from Isaac, under the category of bosses are dicks. G'day, fellas and fellettes. You ever wondered to yourself how to get back at that one fuckwit of a boss? Well, this is a gander of a yarn and a ripper of a tale, so buckle up and enjoy this ride. So this top bloke we'll call Nick, because that's his fucking name. Nick would boss any and all blokes around for whatever reason, and it just so happened he planned a company restructuring, or in my words, anyone who can't put up with my shit is fucking out on their ass restructure. And all of this happened back in June, July 2024 in a very well-known small goods factory that 7 News even covered. Us lads caught wind of this brainstorming and figured out we might have a brainstorm of our own to make the final send-off before we were deemed redundant. Piss on the walls? Nah, too simple. Shit smearing? Nah, not good enough. Use man's spunk to cover a whole fucking toilet in? Fuck yes. So we set the plan for one of us to have a nice good old tug in a cubicle and spurry all over the walls of the toilet for a good final goodbye.
What is this?
And that lucky lad was, you guessed it, me. Cut to the final day of work, grabbed my gear, said my goodbyes, went to the loo, enact the sick but hilarious plan to piss Nick off, and a good 20 minutes later in 3 sessions, a good amount of the old white wheeze male protein was splattered fucking everywhere across this thing. Next day rolls around and I caught wind from my old man that an incident report was done about the mystery bodily fluids that were in the same cubicle I was in just a day prior, and by the sounds of it, he was pretty fucking pissed off. You fuck with the apprentice, he'll blow every inch of loo with goo. Up the wars, love the potties.
What the fuck? He just sent us a story about him whacking on a toilet.
Well, you know, she's a real fucking licorice all sorts, this podcast.
Oh my God.
It's so grim. That's a level up from wetting toilet paper and having it at the roof.
Yeah, that's it. The level of coming after the first time, like, just fucking panting away, like, fuck that guy, we're going again, just full angry wanked out.
It's a real angry
Play
beat,
it again,
isn't it?
Sam. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It just keeps falling further and further and further down the internet rabbit hole to get something going.
It's almost all we've got time for today. I'm just going to finish with something really beautiful. My son, who's just turned 4, I think he said this at the breakfast table, but it might have been like 6 months ago. But I think you'll like this.
I said fucking hell.
Oh. Why'd you say that?
Fucking hell.
What do you think that means?
That is fucking hell. I said fucking hell. I said that.
Why?
I said fucking hell.
But why did you say that?
Because I said it. Because his father. Run away from his father. The big father, he did. Then he got a big monster truck to his father. He got a push him his big father, push him to his father.
So what was it? What did he end up? So he
I don't
goes.
know. He's just babbling.
Yeah.
Didn't you get what he was saying there? I understood it completely.
Well, he said fucking hell. And why did you say it?
Because he just said it.
No, it was a stage. It was a stage where he's going through. Everything was just monster trucks. So he'd be like, blah, 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 father, monster trucks, and dad, monster truck, father. Like, I don't know.
What'd you say? Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. That was because Muzz was saying it heaps then. But then, so we started docking Muzz's pocket money $1 every time he'd say something bad. And it stopped.
Yeah.
It actually worked. It cost him $36. He had $90, but it cost him $36.
Money talks.
The last one that
It's a
kept
great
getting him,
corrector.
he didn't think crap was a swear word. And I was like, well, no, it is. You shouldn't really be saying it. And then he'd say, he'd be like, oh, crap. Like real like that. And I was like, no, $1. He's like, yeah, you didn't tell me. And then the next day, oh, crap. I did tell you. Oh, crap.
Just slides you $5. Go get fucked, you motherfucker. Yeah, give me the change, cunt.
$1 well worth it.
Oh, man. That'll do it for the potty today. Plans for the weekend?
I have got a good friend's birthday tonight, and then I'm going to probably shoot up and do the KF&C. One of the crew here at work, Lisa, had it yesterday, and she said it's fucking delicious. KFC basically have made a fish and chip pop-up restaurant,
nice.
supporting Surf Lifesaving New Zealand. So, as a massive advocate for Surf Lifesaving NZ, I'll be fucking having some KF&C and doing my bit.
Chicken, fish, and chips.
And I'm also going to be doing my bit to take alcohol out of bars.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah. Put it back in some responsible hands.
Yeah.
You can.
Keep it out of those irresponsible drinkers' hands.
Yeah.
I saw your eyes go down a little bit there, Dunk, when he mentioned he was getting KF&C, which is fish with the 11 secret herbs and spices. The lady emailed me and asked if we could make it. And I said, we can't. We're short. Teagues is away. She said, well, I'll see if I can swing some by the studio on the way home tonight. So there's every possibility that there'll be...
Because it's only Friday, Saturday that's open.
There was an event on that's on right now until 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I saw that email.
Fucking drop her a line and say, geez, the boys are pretty fizzed up about this. Jay's talked it up a fucking treat, so did I. So if you don't deliver, we'll be fucking cutting this out of the podcast.
The only place we haven't plugged it is in our bumholes.
100%. Also, I just wanted to say, I got a lot of messages last night from people. I've had a pretty hectic couple of days, and the support from the snipers and the people that listen to this podcast really lifted me up. So if you send me a message, thank you very much. Things are looking a lot better.
So your heart went haywire again, and then you're in hospital overnight, and then away yesterday because you just basically didn't fucking sleep all night.
Yeah.
What's the next steps? What do you do?
So
I'm pig valve.
Well, look, I'm on a. Just fucking give me an elephant heart.
Oh, imagine it. Imagine the size of your boner.
I reckon
Just with
boom.
Just one of those like with a bubble window that you used to have on the back of the 70s hot rod vans. You know,
That's
just
the
fucking
one,
so it's open. You see straight into that sack.
Fucking Iron Man, but my ventricles going.
They do those big like fucking clear primary cases on the sides of Harley. Sometimes you see all this shit happening in there.
Yeah,
fucking
that's
mate.
cool.
Yeah. No, so I'm on the list to see a cardiologist. I basically have a heart condition called atrial fibrillation, which for whatever reason will pop up and just go out of rhythm and very palpitating, very short of breath, clammy. It's just honestly, it's just but it's fucking annoying because the main reason that someone my age would get this condition is excessive consumption of alcohol, to which I have kicked to the curb, and I haven't had any issues at all with it over the last year and a bit.
So I think you're yet another classic example. Like you lived a fucking reckless life with a terrible diet, fucking truckloads of piss. You're now half the size that you were, incredibly healthy diet, more probably exercise and mobility than you've ever done, and yet you've never been fucking sicker.
Oh, do you know what? It's yeah. Fuck, the house shit is that?
I know. See, I'm exactly the same.
Why couldn't it be that other cunt, eh?
Yeah, I've been backing out of this little fucking hovel that I put myself into. And now, fuck, I'm going to drive straight back into it.
Yeah, no, but it's just niggly because I never know when it's going to happen, and sometimes it'll pop up and it'll go out of rhythm for a couple. Like it's happened multiple times in the last couple of weeks while I've been in the producer booth working, and it'll come up and then it'll go away in a few minutes, and then sometimes it'll pop up and it'll take the breath out of me, knock the wind out of me for a good 30-40 minutes, and then at the end of it I'm like shit. So I've been keeping a diary of all these episodes that have been happening, and I've been sending them to my GP. Had an appointment last week.
Dear diary.
It's happened again.
Friday the 21st.
Jay
having another session.
Jay wouldn't share his pork belly with me because I'm too fat. No, so I've been keeping. Oh, fuck you! I've been keeping a notes folder on my phone of every time it's occurred because my doctor wanted it. So I went and had an ECG. He's referred me onto a cardiologist, and the only reason I went into hospital the other night is because I promised my wife on Sunday when I had a session and couldn't do anything. I was like, look, if it happens again, I'll go into hospital. No dramas. And so it kicked up on Wednesday night at about 11 o'clock at night and didn't slow down. Went to the hospital, got admitted, and I thought, if anything, the hospital admission will be a catalyst for accelerating this fucking cardiology appointment. But there's a procedure. A number of people that reached out to me yesterday told me about a procedure which is called an ablation, which is what they do. They go up through your groin.
Yeah.
And they inflate a cryogenic balloon up in between your heart. Oh mate, it's crazy shit. So they go up your groin, they inflate a cryogenic balloon inside your chamber to then burn it with ice like you'd burn off a wart. Oh, yeah. Now this creates scar tissue to upset the electrical fuck up essentially. So my heart.
How clever is that? Fucking amazing,
right? The same people that did the pyramids, I reckon. It's just fucking wild.
Every now and again, just drip feeding some new knowledge.
Yeah. So I want to talk to my GP about that, but I had a friend who had it done and she reckons that she hasn't had any episodes in the last 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
As opposed to fucking every couple of days going out of rhythm. So look, it's just niggly more than anything. I'm okay. The family's doing good, but I appreciate all your support and fucking bloody great community to be a part of this one.
Have you got a watch that monitors your heart rate and tracks your heart rate?
No, so I'm on drugs for that. So I'm on beta blockers, which is a drug to keep my heart low and to keep my heart in rhythm. That's called metoprolol. On top of that, I take blood thinners because on the off chance that one of these atrial fibrillation episodes got really gnarly and my blood wouldn't clot because my heart isn't going working and pumping that blood the way that it should, it could pump a blood clot to my brain, left side fucking stroke Lee, just no good. Yeah. So I need those
need the bloody rat poison,
anticoags or whatever it's called. But I mean, other than that, fucking sweet ass. But no, I really appreciate you all. Thanks for all your messages.
Nice work, mate. Best luck for the recovery and getting all the other shit sorted out with all the other appointments and stuff. Whatever you're up to for your weekend, have an absolute ripper. It's always epic having you on the podcast, buddy. We love doing this. And a reminder, you can get 3 extra episodes a week. Wherever you get your podcast, you can do that on Android or Apple or whatever. Just click on the show notes and follow the prompts there. You sign up through Rover and then it'll unlock there'll be a couple of 100 episodes extra that were done behind the paywall.
Yes.
And the price is like the price of a beer a month. And then we're on YouTube now too.
Also, details on pre-ordering our newfound sunglasses, the collaboration that we've done. There's 150 pairs, so fucking 148 pairs, 147 pairs.
Okay.
Joe Boss T, 146 pairs.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, but it's a first and best dress scenario. Details on that on Monday.
Have we got any idea of pricing? Because I know the high-end sunnies. We haven't gone with shit sunnies.
No, I would say they'll be up there probably close to 200 plus shipping.
Kiwi, okay.
Kiwi, so whatever that is, 17 euros or fucking $5 US and 200 million pesos.
Yeah, all right. Well, more details on that to come next week. Sniper Elite, we'll get the heads up first for those for obvious reasons. But have a ripping weekend, like I said. Go long, go hard, go deep.
Up the fucking wires.
Up the wires.